So I appreciate you doing that. Now, you just brought it up, and I was going to bring it up too. Talk to me about the gentleman's school, because I watched the videos you put out for the gentleman's school, the different activities you had the kids doing, and I had to repost it because I'm like, this is golden. You know what I mean? So what gave you that idea?
Man, listen, man, it came to me in a dream. One night it came to me in a dream. I'm riding in a car in a dream, and in there.
Oh, you're breaking up, brother.
Has a message for you. They say the creator has a message for you. And I'm like,
what happened? The brother just dropped off the stream. I'm gonna get him back right now. Let me send him the invite again. The brother Ona'e Chatman, educational consultant. We're gonna get into all that, but that's interesting, right? Because this brother, he gonna come back on again. I think he dropped off of the stream, but this brother has a gentleman's school, right? And from what I've seen, it's mostly black students, and he's doing things at this gentleman's school that it's all things our father should have been like intrinsic in helping us do, right? So he ironing with them, he teaching them manners, he teaching them things about finances. These are all things that I was thinking about doing in my hometown as well, right? Because when you think about it, a lot of the knock on our community is always based on the fatherlessness, right? Now, so of course, if you do the research, you know that there are a lot of fathers that are active, not with the mother or whatever. Those numbers are a little bit skewed, but the reality of it is there aren't enough black kids who live in the home with their mother, in the home with their mother and their father, right? So this brother created this school that goes over a lot of the small details that you may think is small, but end up being bigger in life. You know what I mean? Let me bring him back on real quick. Yeah, sorry about that, brother.
Bro, that was somebody called me and threw me all the way off. Threw the whole thing off. So
yeah,
I hope I don't get no more calls. But yeah, man, so the gentleman's school was given to me in a dream, man. And the dream was, hey, the creator has a message for you. And in the dream, I can hear the message very clearly that says, our sons need a hero. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, is this for me? Like, am I the one that's supposed to be, this hero or whatever? But the message was clear. And so I said, okay, I've already been doing the thing in school. So now I need to start something of my own. And since I'm already working with boys, I stay right there in that same lane with boys. And we just began to do that thing, man. And I said, hey, I'm going to teach life skills. That's going to be my specialty. My specialty will be that of life skills, training, life skills acquisition. So we started out teaching them how to iron clothes. Then we came back, teach them how to change flat tires. Then we brought in a chef to teach them how to cook. And so we teach them those skills that they will have for the rest of their life. And so we find these skills to be very important. And so we just teach it, man. Like any life skill we can find to teach, that's what we're trying to teach.
That's so interesting, Ona'e, because, man, look, a lot of times we're looking at all these dysfunctions that we see in our community. We're seeing things that we don't like. It's always inspiring to me when I see a brother put their feet to the ground and decide, because everything is a decision, decide to do something to help out. Because I was just talking while you dropped off the stream that, of course, we understand the logistics of there being like 70% of black boys not growing up with their father in the home. Now, of course, we know that fathers are active. Fathers are still coming and going. You're visiting your father. All these things are happening. But in reality, a father and the mother should be in the home raising the kid. So when I seen your school, bro, I was just watching a lot of things that should be taught in the home, a lot of things that a dad may have taught. Y'all right there for him, helping him out. So I gotta salute you on that, because I'm sure, like the parents and the kids, I'm sure you've seen a big impact from that, right?
Yeah, man. So we've seen the impact. We've gotten so many testimonials, from parents saying, hey, my son came to your school and now he's ironing his clothes. Now he's ironing his own clothes. Now they're still talking about it. Like, hey, when the next session? When you get, the young kids to say, hey, we ready to go back for another session,
Yeah.
you're really doing something, man, because they might be on video games and where they can go hang out at. And so when you really get them excited about education, man, and about learning life skills, man, you know that you're doing something of great importance. And so
Hmm.
that's why we're trying to keep this thing going, man, for as long as we can, until I get so busy that I just can't anymore. I plan to keep this thing rolling because, I got some plans for how we're going to end the year, this particular year and stuff like that. Some sessions we're going to do with them to end the year off. And so we're going to keep this thing rolling, man, because this is what every community needs.
Hmm.
This is nothing new. If you look back through our history as Black people, you will find freedom schools, you will find Saturday schools, where people such as myself, got together with young boys and girls on Saturday, to teach these type of life skills in one room building. Sometimes,
Mm.
they'll find that little one room classroom setting, in the neighborhood somewhere, man, and just teach these kind of skills. And so these skills are important, and we're gonna keep this thing moving.
Definitely, definitely. And like I said, man, I'm watching everything y'all doing. Salute to everybody you have helping you with that. Because
Yeah.
one of the things I always look at, Ona'e, just looking at regular life in America, right? Most people working a job, trying to raise their family, they're going the straight and narrow. They're not stepping outside of the lines to a degree. You know what I mean? So whenever I see black people,
Mm.
people in general, who doing their best to educate, create things, right? This is how we get to where we at now with all the inventions black people then made and everything. All these things come from an idea, and they're always
Hmm.
long lasting when you do it the right way. Because I remember programs as a youth that brought kids together, even if it wasn't about education, even if it was just fun. You remember the programs outside of school that was brought together to kind of help you. So the fact that y'all doing what y'all doing, and I know a lot of our black boys need these skills. You know what I mean? So how does
Yeah.
going to all these schools and speaking, writing the books that you've
Hmm.
written, what is the parents' role? Like when you look at black society right now and everything going on with our kids, what are some of the things parents can do better to be equipped to deal with everything they seeing, to be equipped to help them with certain things, or really just be involved? You know what I mean?
I think parents really have to lock down, man, because I always say it like this: that school can only reinforce what you're already teaching at home,
Man,
right?
man,
It's
man.
not the it's not the school's job to raise your child. It's the school's job to educate your child, right? After you've been educating them at home,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Right. So it's kind of like this whole CRT thing, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna take this out of school. We're gonna take any mention of Black history. Well, guess what? They can't take the mention of Black history out of your house,
Come
right?
on now.
So you
Come
you
on
you
now.
you can teach what you want them to know at your house, and then they can only reinforce what you've already been teaching. Listen, if I could get our parents to the school like they should be, I would be the number one educational consultant in America and the world,
Mm,
because every principal has a problem getting parents to the school. No matter what principal you talk to, the parents whose children are already doing well show up. But those that are not doing well, their parents never show up.
mm.
But if they're out there running their football, everybody in the stands.
Come on
If
now.
they're playing
Come on
basketball,
now.
everybody in the stands, right? But
Yeah.
we create the robotics program, we can't get nobody to show up.
Yep.
And so we have to do better. We got to stop finger pointing and really get down to business and say, hey, we have to do better as a community of parents to ensure that our children are getting and receiving the education that they truly deserve. And that starts by being involved. Every school district needs more parents involved. You will not find a school district that will turn down parents that want to be involved. I guarantee you.
Hmm. That's interesting, man, because I talk a lot about black history on my show, a lot about what we should know as black people. And I think sometimes all parents, but I'm speaking directly to my Black parents right now, sometimes we don't understand how big of a role we have in the educational process. Like I always say, like you just said, if you allow your kids to go to school and them teach you about the leaders of America, the historical monuments in America, and you leave it at that, unfortunately, they won't know much about our history. So in actuality, what you like, as I hear you saying it too, it's actually a personal investment from the parent. It ain't even really about school. Like you just said, it's enforcing what you know to be true, what you've researched yourself, because really, and I'm trying to get this across to a lot of parents, right? If you don't, and pardon my French, if you don't give a shit about Black history, if you don't care about the lineage of your people and the specific things that have happened to get us here, it's a good chance your kids will see it the same way. And I hate to see
they're gonna see it the same way.
Parents who go through things where there's a racist incident at the school, or it's an incident where we have a white middle-aged teacher who may not even be racist, bro, just never raised or been around Black people in a way where they understand our mannerisms, understand the different things that we go through. So they're miseducating your kids sometime just by proxy, just by what they don't know. So when I see you doing what you do, I like seeing Black men